Hey there, my name is Brennan Brown, and I am your professor for Chemistry 151 at Sandhills Community College this semester. I really enjoy teaching chemistry, and I'm looking forward to the semester, getting to know all of you as students, and I hope you are as excited about learning chemistry as I am about teaching it this semester. Up above me here, you can see my contact information. As I've already said, my name is Brennan Brown, but I like to tell my students up front that I'm one of these folks who go by my middle name. My first name is Stephen, and Sandhills has me in the system in some different places as Stephen. So if you ever get an email from a Stephen Brown, me and him are one and the same. My email address is listed, brownb@sandhills.edu, and email is by far the best way to reach me. If you send me an email, any question is fine, any need or question or concern, please feel free to go ahead and email me right away, and I do my best to get back with you within 24 hours. My office phone is listed also. If you want to call and leave a voicemail, it should be sent to my email as well, and so I can respond to it that way. My office is Meyer 203, and I have my office hours listed on the syllabus, which we will go over in just a moment. Once again, I'm really excited about the upcoming semester. I hope you are, and in this introduction here, I'm going to go over how we're going to access the course materials and complete the assignments you need to get credit for Chemistry 151. Now behind me, you can see the syllabus for the course. I'm not going to read the entire thing to you. I will show you where you can access it on Moodle for yourself to read through thoroughly. However, I will highlight some of the important things I want you to certainly be aware of going into the class. We see on the first page there is just some general information, some prerequisite and co-requisite courses that we have for the class. And underneath that, there is information about me. My office and office hours, as well as email and phone, are listed once again if you need to contact me. Then we see the major course goals listed for our chemistry course, and I won't read through those. On the second page, we have general education statement, and then the next part there is the required course materials, and that's the first place I want to stop and talk about what we're going to use in this class as far as text. So we use the OpenStax book, Chemistry, Adams First, Second Edition. You can access this text by going to www.openstax.org that you see listed there. This is a free textbook that you can access electronically anytime at no cost to you. I think the Sandhills bookstore does sell some printed copies of this textbook, so if that's something you're interested in, you can pick that up at the bookstore or order it straight from openstax.org. But the electronic copy of the text is completely free, and there is no other large expensive textbooks to buy for my course. You also will see that I recommend you get a scientific or graphing calculator for the course. It is not required. Most of the calculators on our phones and things today will do the job and do many of the same functions as the scientific calculators. But personally, for me, when I'm punching in a lot of calculations, I'm a bit faster with a nice physical button calculator. So it's just a recommendation. I think it helps kind of speed things along. Then you see the optional materials there. The printed OpenStax material is listed, and there is also a printed lab manual that you may want to pick up for the lab portion of the class. Now, again, we provide a free electronic copy within the Moodle page of that lab notebook. However, when you go to lab, a lot of people like to write down their answers, and if you go to the bookstore and pick up the lab notebook, then you will all have all of the data tables ready to go and write in for your lab work. The book is only a few dollars. It's written by the chemistry professors here at Sandhills, and all we're asking for is the price of printing the booklet itself, so it's not an inexpensive pickup. One more little note there. My colleague, Ms. Hatley, for her Chemistry 151 classes, she has a set of notes that she also has for sale at the bookstore. Those are not for my class. They're a really nice set of notes, but they do not line up with my lectures and everything. So there's no need to purchase that one for Mr. Brown's chemistry class. That is for Ms. Hatley's classes only. Don't purchase those if you're taking my class. So you can see, following the course materials there, we do have the grading policies listed. And so the grading scale that is used in chemistry at Sandhills Community College is the 9-point grading scale. You have to be careful here. A lot of other classes may probably use the 10-point grading scale, but we use a 9-point grading scale. You must earn a 91% overall in order to earn an A in this chemistry course. So A's range from 100 down to 91, B's from 90.9 down to 82, C's from 81.9 down to 73, and then you can see the D and the F ranges as well. Your final course grade will come from the following types of assignments and lab work. The module exams, so there are 5 unit exams that we will do in chemistry. They are taken at the end of each module. They will be worth 50% of your total overall grade. There is a final exam in this course that will count for 5% of your final grade. And this will be a cumulative exam given at the specified time for us. I believe it is Thursday, May the 2nd at 8 a.m. And the final exam will count for 5% of your grade, and you can earn some pre-credit for that final exam by completing the following objectives. If you miss no more than 2 of our class periods throughout the semester, then you automatically get 20 points on that final exam. If you miss no more than 4 of the online assignments throughout the entire semester, then you automatically get 20 points on that final exam. And if you miss no lab periods throughout the entire semester, you automatically get 10 points on that final exam. So you can already pre-earn 50 points toward the final exam just by showing up and completing the assignments you should be completing already. We will go over the online work. There will be online weekly work due on Wednesday and Sunday nights, and I will show you those in the Moodle section in just a bit. That is worth 20% of your grade. If you add those up together, you will see that comes to 75%. The other 25% of your grade comes from the laboratory section of the class. The laboratory section of the class is included in our 4 credit hours here at Sandhills. So you earn credit altogether for the lecture and the lab. The lecture counts for 75% of your grade, and the lab comes from 25% of your grade. I will give you more information about how the lab grading works and the lab assignments when we have our first lab meeting next week. Makeup work is something that I kind of take an approach that as long as it's not becoming a habit, I will usually let students make up some work. I know there's a penalty here, but sometimes I'll even let you make up the work if you say, hey, I missed this one assignment. I'm generally pretty good about letting you catch up on an assignment or 2 if there's something you missed. However, if it becomes a habit, I will implement a makeup work policy where you must finish the makeup work within a week and will incur a 50% penalty. If it becomes a bad habit, at some point I will just say no, you will take the no credit on the assignment. So that is at my discretion. And Following that, we see an academic integrity statement. Of course, you are expected to adhere to academic integrity in all of your courses at Sandhills. There's the access and disability policy. If there is anyone that has any accommodations through the accommodations office at Sandhills, please go ahead and forward that to me and let me know how I can be of assistance. The next important thing we see down there is the attendance policy. So we are required that by the state to make sure that you guys are completing work at least every 2 weeks. So if you do not do any of your assignments or do not input any kind of work in Moodle for 2 consecutive weeks, I will drop you from the course. And if you miss more than 4 class periods total, because we only meet about 15 times in this one section or 1 day a week class, then I will withdraw you from the course as well. Regardless of how well you're doing in the course, you have to be present in order to get credit for the course. So, and then there in the rest of the syllabus, there is some more information about withdrawing. And then finally, the syllabus here ends with the course schedule. But that should be all of the important information that should jump out to you from the syllabus. Of course, you should read through it thoroughly yourself. And if there are any questions, please feel free to contact me. As you can see, now we have the Moodle course up behind me. So when you go to your Moodle dashboard and you click on Chemistry 151, you should see a page that looks very much like this. Of course, I have a few added things that are hidden from you guys, nothing you need to worry about there. But the page should look very much like what you see here with, and as with your other courses, we have kind of that general section at the top with some course announcements and helpful information about being successful using the online tools. In that information there, within that, you will find the syllabus that was viewed on the previous slide, as well as a schedule of assignments. And this schedule of assignments here has all of the assignments for the lecture portion of the class listed along with the date of the final exam also. Then if you scroll on down, you will see an orientation quiz in the general area of the Moodle course here. Please be sure to complete that orientation quiz by the date indicated so that you will be counted present for the first time in the course. It's for auditing reasons, and if you don't complete that, we have to drop you. So please, please, please complete that before the date indicated. Then underneath that, the first section that you will come to in the Moodle course is the lab section. And again, when we meet the first time for the lab course, or when you meet your lab instructor the first time for the lab portion of the course, you will get more information about how to navigate and complete the lab assignments. The Module 1 through Module 5 are the assignments that we will complete during the lecture portion of our course. If you open them, we will open Module 1 and look and see what kind of things we find inside. So the first thing you will see are video lectures featuring Professor Brown. If you open these, you are presented with a PowerPoint. And what I have here are my lecture PowerPoints that we would give or you would see if I were to, or when you come to the lecture portion of the class. And I have recorded myself giving those lectures. And there you will see that they are labeled according to the section they correspond to in the OpenStax text. So for instance, section 1.1 there corresponds to chapter 1.1 from the Chemistry Adams First Second Edition OpenStax text. the reason I do it that way, it's a link to a PowerPoint, and some folks sometimes have trouble loading those, but I still leave them up there because those are the most current editions of my work, and I like students to have that access to the live edition of my work, basically, so that you have the kind of most up-to-date ways I have of teaching this material. But I do know that they do not work on Safari browser. So if you're using an Apple device, you may want to try Firefox or Chrome if that's something you would like to see. I do have an alternative if you can't get the PowerPoints to pull up. Right up underneath each section of those PowerPoints is a recording of them, just a video recording of them uploaded to YouTube. So you can watch them there as well. Now, the only problem with that is, of course, that those are not so dated, but as we move along, they miss out on some of those live versions of things that I've added to my PowerPoints. But all in all, they're still, for the most part, everything that's in these presentations here. So if you would rather just click on the link and watch it on YouTube, that's available for you as well. I also like to provide extra videos in my units. These are things that cover the material we are working on in each section from somebody else's viewpoint. So a lot of time it'll be Khan Academy and other YouTube teachers, if you will, that I find have a good viewpoint on a certain piece of the material, and I'll upload that as a little bit of extra help, a little bit of ancillary material for you to view if you feel like you need it. Following all of that resources, so those are the things that you will use to learn the information that we have from each unit, and then following those resources, you will find the weekly lecture assignments that are worth 20% of your grade in each of these modules. I have already put in their opening and due dates throughout the Moodle course, so you should be able to see when they close. I try to keep it simple. All of my assignments are due either on Wednesday or Sunday night by midnight. So on every Wednesday and every Sunday through the duration of Chemistry 151, you should be checking to see what chemistry assignments you have due. So you will click on these assignments and they will open up, and you will be presented with some questions to answer. Typically, you only have one attempt at each assignment. However, you are allowed to attempt each individual question 3 total times. Now, for a wrong answer on the first and second time, the question will not be counted completely wrong, but a fraction of the point will be taken off. So I don't suggest guess and check as a method of approach for completing these assignments. I suggest you view the material, the lecture material that corresponds to the assignment, and then open the assignment and attempt it while thinking about and maybe even still viewing that lecture material. So again, 2 to 3 of those are generally due every Sunday and Wednesday night, and that is where the bulk of your work will be done in the chemistry course. We will not turn in, I do everything paperless, you don't have anything else to turn into me on any kind of basis or weekly basis or anything other than the lab materials, which will be gone over in the lab portion of the class. The only other type of assignment that you will have for the lecture portion of the class are the exams. At the end of each of the modules, there is a module exam, and the exams are one attempt per question, timed reviews of the material you learned in that module. The exams will open on Thursday, essentially first thing, 12:01 a.m. on the Thursday they are scheduled, and they will close the following Sunday at midnight. So you will need to find approximately an hour and a half of time for you to sit and take one of those exams during those windows. And of course, their dates are set so you can review those dates for yourself as well. There is some final exam section down there that will hold some final exam review materials when you guys get to that point, but that's not something you need to worry about as well. And I will be hiding the Information Festival's topic also because that's not something you need to worry about either. But that's just a short rundown of the topics that or assignments that you will complete through the Chemistry 151 lecture portion of the course. All you will do are the weekly lecture assignments that we covered here under online work in each module. You should be able to see those dates clearly outlined in your Moodle section. You can also see the dates again in the schedule of assignments that we see at the top of there. So if you click on that assignment, we see the schedule of assignments, we see the date listed, the assignment that is due. So each of these is an online work assignment that you find in those modules. And even listed is the corresponding lecture section that will help you complete those assignments. And so this is a useful document for helping you plan your semester. You see the exam windows are listed and the exams are highlighted in yellow. Note that on those exam windows, those exam weekends, if you will, you do not have any other assignments due. So only the exams will be due on those weekends. So again, that's everything we need to get started in our chemistry course. All of the information is there. Everything is there that you need to answer all the questions. But I look forward to seeing each of you and working with you in person this semester. And I hope you are as well. Thank you. This last slide here is for my Spring 24 Tuesday 8 a.m. students in particular. So, of course, we know that this is a one-day-a-week hybrid class, and our first meeting today has been canceled by rain and wind, and therefore we will not have our first weekly meeting, and we're going to miss out on some of the work that we need to complete in order to do our first couple of assignments. As this is a hybrid course, there is an expectation that you watch some of these lectures online to begin with, and quite frankly, the first little bit of easy stuff is a good way to get that started anyway. So I want to just point out exactly what you have to do before we actually see each other in person. Please don't forget to do that orientation assignment up at the top in the general section, and also you will want to, sometime over the next couple of days, today or tomorrow for one assignment, and then by Sunday for another, view sections 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 lectures here. Remember, you can do that either in the live PowerPoints that I've put together, or you can just watch the YouTube videos down there if you're having trouble opening those. The extra videos probably aren't necessary quite for the first couple of assignments. They will be more useful as we move into next week. However, you will want to, before we meet each other next Tuesday, you will need to complete the first assignment here, Introduction to Science and Matter, as well as Types of Matter. And you can see that Introduction to Science and Matter is due this upcoming Wednesday, January the 10th at 12 p.m. and the Types of Matter assignment closes Sunday, this upcoming Sunday at midnight. So make sure you get those two things done. Please, if you have any questions at all, feel free to email me. I'll definitely be around to answer those questions and let me know what's unclear. I look forward to working with all of you this semester.